a group of doctors on Twitter who portrayed themselves to be emergency room doctors. They portrayed themselves to be frontline warriors in the battle against COVID-19. These ER doctors, this network of ER doctors, it wasn't just one, it wasn't just two, they turned out to be fake. Like not even real, completely fake. This is reporting from the San Francisco Standard. They write, last month, Dr. Robert Honeyman lost their sister. By the way, Dr. Robert Honeyman portrayed himself to be trans, non-binary, using these neo-Marxist pronouns. I'm reading it verbatim from the San Francisco Standard, not that I endorse it. Last month, Dr. Robert Honeyman lost their sister to COVID. They wrote about it on Twitter and received dozens of condolences, over 4,000 retweets, and 43,000 likes. Exactly 1 month later, on December 12th, Honeyman wrote that another tragedy had befallen their family. This is a quote. Sad to announce that my husband has entered a coma after being in hospital with COVID. The doctor is unsure if he will come out. This year has been the toughest of my life, losing my sister to this virus. This is the first time in my life I don't see light at the end of the tunnel. The San Francisco Standard continues, again, the condolences and well wishes rolled in. But there was a problem. Honeyman wasn't real. The transgender doctor of sociology and feminist studies with a keen interest in poetry who used they, them pronouns was in fact a stock photo described on Deposit Photos, a royalty-free image site, as smiling, happy, handsome Latino man outside headshot portrait. Their supposedly comatose husband, Dr. Patrick C. Honeyman, was also fake. His Twitter photo had been stolen from an insurance professional in Wayne, Indiana. The two fake doctors whose accounts urged extreme caution about COVID-19 were part of a network of at least 4 fake accounts that touted their ties to the LGBTQ+ community, vocally advocated for mask wearing and social distancing, and dished out criticism to those they felt were not taking the pandemic seriously. The Honeymans could not be reached for comment as they do not exist. That actually is the funniest line of the whole article. The San Francisco Standard says, at publication time, Robert Honeyman's account was no longer active. The fake doctors were uncovered by Joshua Gutterman Trannon, a self-described gay writer pursuing a master's of fine arts at Bennington College. He saw Robert Honeyman's tweet about their husband being in a coma, noticed people he followed also followed them, and thought that they might be part of the LGBTQ academic community. But after 10 minutes of Googling, Gutterman Trannon concluded that Robert Honeyman's photo was a stock image, and his biography stretched the boundaries of believability. An academic who left no traces on academic websites and had lost 2 family members to COVID in late 2022, despite masking and distancing. Gutterman Trannon said the character looked like liberal Mad Libs. Gutterman Trannon said, I'm a self-identified leftist, and I understand that people have a lot of different identities, but it felt concocted in the lab about how many identities and horrible experiences can we put on one person. Okay, so this particular article has a bit of a leftist bent, as you can plainly see using these neo-Marxist pronouns. The article goes on to say that it's unclear who is behind this network of fake COVID crier doctor impersonating accounts, and then goes on to say, and the motivation for creating a fake network of COVID crying, doctor impersonating accounts is unclear. And that is where I disagree with this article, strongly disagree. To me, it is perfectly clear exactly why this happened. It's called astroturfing. It's an astroturf campaign. An astroturf campaign is when there's a political policy or a political agenda, and whoever is behind this, I don't know who is behind this, by the way, but the why is very clear. Whoever is behind this doesn't have the organic reach, doesn't have the organic support for whatever their political agenda might be. In this case, it sounds very stringent COVID restrictions or what these fake doctors were pushing. There's no organic support for this agenda, and so they create fake accounts, fake people to essentially serve as a megaphone for the agenda that they can't get real people to say. They create fake people and they disseminate all of these fake people under the guise. They pretend that these are real organic comments, real life people making organic comments. This is a despicable strategy that unfortunately is used in politics. Although when you get caught, it's the end of your political career. The reason for this astroturfic done in this way is because the left has in their direct object the establishment of a technocracy in our country. A technocracy is ruled by the so-called experts. This is what we see with Fauci telling us he's the science. And you can't question the science or you are anti-science. This is what we get when we're told, well, if you're declining the COVID-19 vaccine, then you are a science denier because the CDC says you should take it, and doctors say you should take it, and public health administrators and officials say that you should take it. You, in a technocracy, you mean nothing. Your opinion means nothing. Your voice means nothing. Your dissent is a rejection of the expertise, is a rejection of, in most of the cases, they usually try to refer to it as science. Technocracy is just one step away from socialism and Marxism and communism, because the purpose of technocracy is to make it so that you are not qualified or allowed to dissent against the ruling class. This is what this astroturfing, this is the why behind this astroturfing campaign. There's a reason that these people these fake accounts were created as doctors, because doctors are supposedly the experts, and you and me as the sorry people are not supposed to be qualified to question the experts, to dissent from the experts. That is technocracy. It's a way of tricking. In the case of COVID, it's a way of tricking us with fear. So the who behind this would be very interesting. I'd be very interested to hear from Elon Musk if he could expose who was behind this astroturfing campaign, because I believe this is against the terms of service at Twitter to create a network of fake accounts pretending to be somebody that you are not, and in a way that's not clear that you are a parody account. But the why, the San Francisco Standard misses the boat on this one. The why is perfectly clear. Kudos to them for reporting on it, but isn't that funny? Think about all those doctor tweets you saw as you were scrolling through your Twitter timeline over the past 3 years. How many of them were fake? Kind of makes you scratch your head, doesn't it?